Social media seemed like harmless fun, connection, cute cat videos. These days it faces thousands of lawsuits, accused of breaking the very children they sought to draw in. In one of the largest child privacy settlements ever, TikTok has agreed it's easier to pay than fight it out. It's been rumbling since 2024 when the US Justice Department sued TikTok and its Chinese parent company ByteDance for failing to protect children's privacy. The Justice Department acknowledges TikTok has changed its privacy controls, but at the time they filed the lawsuit, they argued children under 13 were handing over their personal details to the company without asking their parents, a violation against a US federal law on children's online privacy, enacted in 2000. It's the same law that dozens of US states are now suing Meta over. For years, exasperated parents have had to turn to the courts for change. Now governments are finally stepping in. In December last year, Australia became the first country to ban social media for under 16s. In March, a jury in New Mexico found that Meta knowingly harmed children and concealed what it knew about child exploitation on its platforms. Later that month in LA, there was an unprecedented win for a young woman who sued Meta and YouTube over her childhood addiction to them. In June, the UK announced their own plans to ban children from social media by spring 2027. While this August, California moved on a bill to ban addictive design features for young users. These are just some of the thousands of ongoing court cases as countries worldwide discuss banning youngsters. Meta rejects claims it intentionally addicts children.
Senator, I view my job and the job of our company as building the best tools that we can to keep our community safe.
But already this year, the company has had to pay damages totaling nearly $1 billion related to childhood addiction and mental health harm. And there it is, in black and white, why these bans and cases matter. These are the names of the young people who allegedly died as a result of social media.
This wasn't an accident. My son did not take his life. My son was killed.
Earlier this week, some of their parents gathered outside a courthouse in California, where this state and 28 others are suing Meta for designing Facebook and Instagram to be addictive to young users, causing anxiety, depression, and even suicide. A lawyer told the court this week the strategy of the world's largest social media company begins and ends with H: hook, hold, harvest, and hide. Too late for these heartbroken parents.
Emily Wither reporting there. Well, earlier I spoke to Professor Sonia Livingston, who's director of the Digital Futures for Children Centre at the LSE. She's advised the UK government, the European Commission and the UN on young people's risks and opportunities in the digital environment. I asked her whether the TikTok privacy settlement would actually make any difference.
Well, I think what we see is that the scale of the fines and the settlements is going up quite rapidly. 2026 seems to be an eventful year for the number of cases being brought against TikTok, Meta and the others, and also the size of the settlements or the fines that are being reached. So at some point, it must seem like a significant pushback against their current business model. And
but a kind of punchback is one thing. What about a tipping point?
Well, that we can't predict, but it is clear that there is widespread, indeed global, frustration with the platforms at the moment, and I think that's why we're seeing not only so many cases against the platforms, but also so many calls to ban children's access to those platforms. So this looks like a pretty fragile market from the point of view of their profit margins, I think.
And when we look at this particular case, which was around privacy law, I mean, this has been likened to Al Capone being done for tax evasion. It kind of, many people would argue, ignores the real harm.
I think it doesn't ignore the real harm, but it presses for enforcement where there is the best chance of success. So I know many parents would say it's the content and it's the time spent that really worries them about TikTok. But from the point of view of making a law stick, privacy law, data protection law, these are proving the kind of best resources within the government's kind of armory, if you like. I think we've all known for many years that the platforms are simply taking children's data and allowing children to use the platforms under the age without seeming penalty. So it is a genuine concern.
And lots of people will have the view that fundamentally it is the purpose, the very business model of many social media platforms, which is about spreading sticky viral content fast, and that will always trump safety. How do we get around that?
Well, I think that is why we have regulation and why we need to make the regulation work, because we could say this in any field. Any company could seek profit at all costs. I think we need to place the limits. Yes, there can be fun trends. There can be fun things spreading. Some things can go viral, not those which are dangerous, not those which are harmful to children. That's where we place the limits.
And do you see any realistic prospect of a change between big social media companies and regulation when, at the moment at least, in the USA, where many of these very, very powerful social media companies are based, they have a government and a White House that really isn't that interested in reining them in?
Well, it's the US Department of Justice that's just brought this case against TikTok. There are many cases happening in California and New Mexico, indeed across the states right now. They are beginning to win at scale. So I think we will see what the next period brings, but clearly the challenge to the current business model is mounting greatly.
Professor Livingston, thank you very much indeed.
Pleasure. Thank you.